everybody. This is a major video for First Peoples in Canada. It's a major inconsistency with what you think about Canada and what Canada really is and isn't. And it's an important thing that you're given from the United States of America. A treaty called the Jay Treaty came out a very long time ago, long before this Canada was ever made into the 1867 Canada we see today. The Jay Treaty is a USA British treaty which was under prior the British North America Act, and it was the right of natives to traverse North America. What is North America and what it isn't? Greenland, Arctic, all the way down through Canada's provinces, from the territories, down on through the United States, but it's limited. And there's a genetic sequence for that, which is North American First Peoples. It's a blood quantum. United States knows it, Russia knows it too. It's one peoples. It is not the equivalent of South America up into Central America. Now, there's arguments in Mexican overlap, even as far as Panama, but a lot of it requires a genetic sequence that's logged in the United States. They honor that for all American Indians. They can find that blood quantum in Greenland and, of course, Canada and other parts, but not when you go on past that. They know. That's the inception of the treaties. Different peoples, different agreements. USA honors that today. Your Canada threw it away in 1956. You see, upon the death of King George VI in 1952, away Canada went and said, fuck the Jay Treaty, which is really fuck the Wantum Belt. These aren't my words. It's important for Canadian First Peoples to understand what your government has done to you and your peoples who span this continent and then some. They removed that from you. USA doesn't remove that from you. When an American Indian tries to come to Canada, they're blocked. They're told, sorry, you're not a human being in this country. You're a sub-human being, a sub-subject. You're under the Indian Act, and if you can't accept that, then you got to run with a passport. You have to be enfranchised under the white man's system. That's how it works. Again, not my words, and just so everybody knows, I'm not First Nations. I'm Caucasian. I'm just telling you what is written, what is law in Canada, what Canada's done to the First Peoples, all First Peoples. Canada's ICC Arctic, Canada's numbered and named treaty Indians, and Métis, all placed under the heinous Indian Act. It's part of our constitutional acts of Canada. This much I know, and yes, I know of the Jay Treaty, and I know what America still honors to this day, and how, yes, all Canadian First Peoples and blood quantum with your treaty titled cards, no problem to the United States, but it's not the same for the American Indian citizen. When they come to Canada, they're treated like piss and shit. Because Canada doesn't honor it, they won't give the American Indian citizen real equality of the person, because it doesn't exist in Canada. Canada's fascist. That's the first thing Canadian First Peoples have to understand. It's why the American Indian isn't able to come across and showcase anything to you, because they're removed from that entirely since 1956 by the Canadian politic under the Canada Constitutional Acts as they are. The Canadian government has taken away everything that's of that right to those people, keeping you as a subhuman being. That's why we just watched brutal presentations, brutal acts from media, brutal acts from government, always trying to pit the subjects and sub-subjects against each other, because it's a pyramid scheme. It starts with the First Peoples here in Canada, a scheme that doesn't exist in America. So all you First Peoples running the United States down, you've got it wrong, and wrong. And you really need to look at the codified American Indian citizen, those with constitutions, those with real rights, real property rights, real land back. There's so many more to do, but they cling to the bullshit of Canada that somehow a mythical crown empowers them, is going to empower them one day. They even talk about mythical monies. UK's GDP is $4 trillion these days. Does that sound like an abundant fund ready to fund you when they're in so much gross debt? They've stolen most of your resources for hundreds of years. Them and 9 other kingdoms, but largely under their kingdom. France did it too. They still do it all over the world, just not so much in Canada. They get away with a little bit under old laws. Old laws that America's pressing on me to learn very quickly. They're still part of our constitutional acts, and I will get that done. AI is very powerful. I'll always, at least with AI now, have those skills. Ian Bachman's working on it too, and he sees. Ian's a lot further along with AI than I am, but I'm getting on really quickly, really fast. And America expects that. They expect that to be learned quick. And I will learn it. I have 16 documents to uncover and uncodify, going beyond Canada's reality of 1867, some of which I acknowledge and I address, a lot of which I haven't, not to those details. I think Ian's even seen it. It's a harder thing to do. As LUTs, Ian, I'm going to show you this weekend. I'm going to sit down with you and show you LUTs. That's a gift from American academia. And how much trouble they have just dealing with Canada, Israel, and UK. How hard it is in their unwritten laws. The things they lock away from not only their own people, but the world. But it's being decodified. Many American academics have. The American government has. And they expect us to get on board quickly. I can pay for that. I don't know how much that would cost me. I've been told point blank, if I can't do this myself, I'm going to have to pay. So that's America. Intellectual property doesn't come for free, but I'm going to try and work with Ian and get that done. I don't have all the answers, but I have a lot more than most of Canadian academic community. That's completely the reality. That should scare all of you. But First Peoples, what you've been told about Canada is complete horseshit. And we got to move past that. That's my video. Share. Important for everybody. Get it out there. These are things you have to start with. The Jay Treaty. Look what it is in America and what it isn't for all Canadian First Peoples. Start there, especially when we talk about wampum belt, boat and the canoe. Wow, not even close if you get rid of the Jay Treaty. That's my video. Bye now.